Shalom, shalom, shalom. I'd like to start this video by giving all honor, praises, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem YAHAWASHI, Ba'ashem Kodash. Double honors to my teachers, the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone, teaching and ruling well. Peace, salutations, and blessings unto the hopeful elect of the house of Israel. Lord willing, this will be an edifying lesson. And what really brought about this lesson is a dream that I had last night. Okay? So basically I was there with my mom, my younger sister, and a friend that I had in the world, a good friend that I had in the world, man. Okay? And as we were waiting, I believe we were waiting for the train or whatever. We were waiting, okay? And we were having our conversations, we were talking. And then at one point, there's an individual that looked like a woman that pulled up. But I could tell that something was off with that individual, okay? And then as they were talking, that individual was talking, and at one point that individual asked my mom for the house keys. But as they were talking, I could see that person was bugging out. I could sense that person was a demon, basically. Okay, I could sense that person had demons on it. Okay, it was a demon. Okay, and then the demon asked my mom, "Give me the keys to your house." Okay, and my mom was about to actually give out the keys to the demon, and then I'm like, "Yo, what the fuck?" I'm looking around, I'm like, yo, you guys don't see that this is weird? Why would a random person just walk up to you and ask you for the keys of your house, and you would actually give it to them? Okay, and then I turned around, I cussed out my mom. Not cussed out, I rebuked my mom. I told them, what's wrong with you? Are you crazy? Are you just gonna give a random stranger your house keys? Then I turned around and I rebuked the demon in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. In the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, get deep behind me. Okay, leave us alone. Get out of here. And then that demon really started bugging out. And then I'm looking, as I'm calling upon the name, telling that demon to leave us alone, I turn around and I tell my mom, didn't I tell you it was a demon? Okay, didn't I tell you it was a demon? Why would you give that random person your keys, man? Okay, I was, so and then at that moment too, I realized I was the only one calling upon the name. I was the only one rebuking the demon. Because they were in shock, they were in awe, they didn't understand what was going on. Okay, and then I'm telling myself, looking at my friend that was in the world, I'm like, yo, in my head, I thought about it quickly. I'm like, yo, get up, come here and call upon the name with me. But then I realized this guy, he doesn't believe. Why would he get up and call upon the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai? Okay, he doesn't have faith. So even if he was to get up, it might have even emboldened the demon even more, you see? So at that moment, I understood that I was the only one that could have fought that battle. Okay, I was the only one that could have fought, that could have called upon the name of the Lord, rebuked that demon, and it would actually work. So I started fighting, calling upon the name of the Lord, cussing out the demon, ordering him to leave us alone, and eventually that demon left. But then again, I came back and I told my mom, you see, and what was spiritual is that the keys to the house, the body is a house. It says the word body comes from the word abode, okay? And it's really a house for your spirit. And my mom, in a sense, in a spiritual way, she was about to give out the keys to her body to that demon. Okay, she was gonna give free access to the demon to hop to possess her. Okay, and if it wasn't for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai to open my eyes and to stop that interaction, okay, to rebuke that demon, she would have got possessed. Okay. You see, but ultimately, if you're in darkness and you don't know Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, eventually you're gonna get you got demons on you, man. Okay, because you're clean to the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, to the belief that you have in the Lord. So the fact that if you don't believe, if you're not in the truth, you're ultimately a vessel for Satan to use as he wishes. Okay, and that's what it is. Okay, so I saw that, I was like, yo, what the hell? So Kahalallam Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, that has given us the spirit of discernment, given us power, and given us grace. Okay, because again, we're fighting a spiritual warfare. These people, and again, as I turned around, I looked like they did not know what was going on. They did not know how to react, man. They were through. Okay, they were through, man. Okay, you see, and if it wasn't for me, they would have been even further destroyed. Who could tell what that demon would do? That demon would have brought them in a even worse state. Okay, because that demon was bugged out, man. He was bugged out. I could tell he was bugged out. And when he asked that question, the spirit was lit up in me that I had to rebuke that demon and get him out of there, man. Okay, You see? But ultimately, it says here in Matthew 10:1, and when he had called unto him his 12 disciples, speaking of YAHAWASHI, he gave them power over unclean spirits. Okay, and in that dream, that individual that looked like a woman, a bugged out woman, okay, that pulled up in my dream, tried to persuade my mom to give her the keys to her house, was an unclean spirit. It was an unclean spirit, man. Okay, but through the spirit of Yahawah, I managed to rebuke it. Okay, and it says here, so give them power over unclean spirit to cast them out and to heal all manner of sickness and manner of diseases. And again, being possessed by a devil, that's a disease as well. Okay, that's a disease, spiritual disease, man. To be possessed by demons. Okay, you see. And again, it's solely through the words of Yahawah that you can be healed from these things, man. Your faith in the Lord. Okay, you see. So again, it says here. Give me a second. Says here in Job 6:30. Says here in Job 6:30. Is there iniquity in my tongue? Cannot my taste discern perverse things? Okay, so your taste, meaning, because again, you have to understand that even the truth, okay, the role, okay, the Bible itself is considered as a meat. Okay. It's something that you are to indulge in, digest, and keep within you. Okay, you eat the words of Yahawah Hashem Yahushai. Yahushai is the living, the embodiment of the scriptures. And he said, "He that eateth of my flesh, he that eateth of my flesh, and you have to eat of his flesh, and you have to drink of his blood." So again, pertaining to the scriptures, you have to do these things spiritually. Okay, so you're by doing so. Okay, your mind is renewed, your mind is transformed according to the will of Yahawah Hashem Yahushai, and now you understand what is good and what is evil. Okay, and by this knowledge, now you can abstain from evil. That is the understanding. The fear of the Lord, that is the fear, that is wisdom, and the understanding is to avoid all appearances of evil. So again, is there iniquity in my tongue? Cannot my taste discern perverse things? And how will your taste discern perverse things? By you having the spirit of truth. Okay, by you having the Holy Spirit working within you to be able to discern who are the real teachers, who's pushing forth the words of truth. Okay, hearing the voice of Yahawah Hashem Yahushai. Okay, through his men, through the prophets that he sends. Okay, being led through the Spirit and not by sight. All right. So then it says here in Isaiah 8:20, real quick. It reads, "To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them." Okay, so as soon as they start saying things that are not adding up with the scriptures, with the words of Yahawah Hashem Yahushai, you understand that these people don't know what they're talking about, and the Lord, the Holy Spirit, is not in them. Okay, the light, okay, which is YAHAWASHI, is not in them. Rather, they're in darkness. Okay, and if you follow someone who's in darkness, both of you are gonna fall. If the blind lead the blind, they shall both fall in a ditch. Okay, you see. So again, it's important to ask for Yahawah Hashem Yahushai to give you the spirit of discernment. Okay. It says here. So like here. It says here in I believe Saved by Grace. It says here Ephesians 2:8, and it reads, For by grace ye are saved through faith. And that is not of yourselves, it is the gift of the Most High, not of works, lest any man should boast. Okay, so again, we cannot glorify ourselves in the works that we're doing, okay, because it's not the works that is going to deliver us. The just shall live by faith. And again, that gift of grace is a gift, okay. You see, it's a gift. Again, we don't even deserve that gift. It's all through the mercies of YAHAWASHI, okay. So through YAHAWASHI and his sacrifice, okay, we have access not only to power, to life, okay, to wisdom, to salvation, okay, discernment, you know, all these things, man, okay, taking us out of darkness so that now our steps are guided with wisdom, guided by wisdom, so that we can do the things that are pleasing unto Yahweh Shai. Okay, compared to these other people in the world, those that are, you know, those that are not in the sanctuary of Yahweh Shai. As it says, they're not going to be protected. Okay, they're not going to be defended because they believe not. Okay, that's the difference between the people that are in the world and the people that are following Yahweh Shai. It says here in Isaiah 60:1, arise, shine, for thy light, this understanding, the understanding of the gospel, is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. The Lord Yahweh Shai, this knowledge is risen upon thee. He has found you worthy, okay, to obtain this knowledge. For behold, darkness shall cover the earth, and gross people, and gross people, and gross darkness. So for behold, darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord Yahweh Shai shall rise up upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. And that's what gives us power, discernment, and grace, okay, through YAHAWASHI, through the sacrifice of YAHAWASHI, okay. You see, so again, the people that are in the world, they're open to satanic attacks, but us, the Lord has girded us with spiritual weapons that will enable us to resist the devil and cleave unto Yahweh Shai. Okay, as it says, 2 Corinthians 10 and 3. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. Okay, we do not war after the flesh, even throughout the temptations and tribulations that we go through. You know, let's say co-workers, people in the world, okay, talking shit, lying on you, okay, just causing ruckus, okay, being demons. Okay, we're not looking. It's not them. They're being utilized. Like I said, their body is being taken over, possessed by demons that target the man of the Lord, the woman of the Lord, to get them out of that spiritual vibration, to get them to walk according to a carnal mindset. So again, for though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. Okay, we're warring after the spirits that are within these people, man. Okay, these unclean spirits that the Lord has given us power to over them. Okay, coming into this truth, we have power over these demons. We can cast them out, man. Okay, so we are not to let them overcome us by making us fall from the spirit and get carnal. No, man. We are to keep that spiritual mindset. Having our eyes, we can see that these demons are trying to get us to take us out of our pivot. Okay, but we can't allow that to happen. Okay, as it says, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High, to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imagination and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High. Okay, so every doctrine, philosophies, lies, deceit, all these things that are against the will of Yahweh Shai and his words, these things we understand. We know the truth, and they can do nothing against the truth but for the truth. Everyone here is playing their role, man. Okay, and the Lord, having made manifest the secret things unto his prophets, okay, unto those that serve him in truth and sincerity. Okay, we have a one-up on these people, man. Okay, so casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Hamashiach. Okay, because at the end of the day, every knee shall bow to at the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay, So that was that, man. A quick 1-2 pertaining to the dream that I had. How these people are easily accessible to Satan, and how we are to move in the spirit. Okay, I rebuke them in the name of YAHAWASHI. This is a part of our spiritual arsenal. The name, prayers, fasting, okay, the scriptures. These things keep us in a spiritual aspect, in a spiritual vibration, man. All right, and when we're in the spirit, we are strong in YAHAWASHI. All right. So Lord willing, this was edifying. Until next lesson, shalom, shalom, shalom.